Hi, my beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. It's me again, Jamie, and I trust that you all are doing fabulous, guys. So, this is out of the ordinary, usually review music, but I came across a short history of slavery, and I'm someone I did history at school. I didn't really like the subject because there were stories I heard, like, I got really emotional, so I got intrigued by just this title, so I'm just gonna check it out and let's see what they see.
And now for a brief history of slavery. Here's the first thing you need to know. Slavery was not invented by white people. It did not start in 1619 when the first slaves came to Jamestown. It existed before then. It did not
Okay.
start in 1492 when Columbus discovered the New World. In fact, when the intrepid explorer landed in the Bahamas, the native Taino tribe hoped that he would help them defeat their aggressive neighbors, the Caribs. The Caribs enslaved the Taino and, on occasion, served them for dinner. Slavery existed in Africa, Asia, and the Middle East. The word slave actually comes from the Slavs of Eastern Europe. Millions of them, all white by the way, were captured and enslaved by Muslims in the 9th century and later by the Ottoman Turks. Slavery existed when the Roman Empire controlled the Mediterranean and most of Europe from the 1st through the 5th centuries. Slavery existed when Alexander the Great conquered Persia in the 4th century BC. It was so common that Aristotle simply considered it natural. The slave master model was just how the world operated in the great philosopher's day. Slavery existed during the time of the ancient Egyptians 5,000 years ago. As far back as we can go in human history, we find slavery. As renowned historian John Steele Gordon notes from time immemorial, slaves were a major item of commerce. As much as a third of the population of the ancient world was enslaved. Here's the second thing you need to know. White people were the first to formally put an end to slavery. In 1833, Britain was the first country in the history of the world to pass a Slavery Abolition Act. They were quickly followed by France, who in 1848 abolished slavery in her many colonies. Then, of course, came the 13th Amendment in the United States Constitution. After centuries of human slavery, white men led the world in putting an end to the abhorrent practice. That includes the 300,000 Union soldiers, overwhelmingly white, who died during the Civil War. Now, am I saying that this makes white people better than anyone else? Of course not. My purpose here is to simply tell the truth, and the truth is that human history is complicated. No one, regardless of skin color, stands guiltless. Yet today we are never told to consider the murderous Persian Empire or the cannibalism of indigenous tribes of North and South America or the heinous actions under the imperialistic Muslim, Chinese, Mongol, or Japanese empires, to name just a few. Instead, we're told that slavery is a white phenomenon. And like all persistent lies, this lie spawns a bunch of other lies. On social media, I come across extraordinary depictions about how Africans lived like pharaohs before Europeans came and laid waste to their paradise. I wish any of this were true, but it's not. It's a fantasy. The truth is that Africans were sold into slavery by other black Africans, and in many cases, sold for items as trivial as gin and mirrors. Whites didn't go into the interior and round up the natives. They waited on the coast for their black partners to bring them black bodies. The stark reality is that our lives had very little value to our ancestors. Here's the third thing you need to know. If you think slavery is a relic of the past, you're wrong. There are some 700,000 slaves in Africa today, right now. That's the lowest estimate that I could find. Other sources say there are many more. For context, that's almost twice as many slaves as were ever brought to the United States. Child soldiers, human trafficking, forced labor, these are the conditions that currently exist within the same sub-Saharan region where the transatlantic slave trade originated. African bodies are being sold today like they were sold then. And no, they are not being purchased by any country of white men. In fact, slavery, by any traditional definition, is exclusively practiced today within non-white countries. But we hear almost nothing about that. Just like we hear nothing about how slavery was universal until good people in Europe and America ended it 2 centuries ago. Why? Because our so-called leaders, black and white, wouldn't profit from it. Black victimhood is nothing if not profitable. It elects politicians and funds racial grievance groups. And if black Americans began to view themselves as partners in the American dream, if we embraced the patriotic spirit that holds all men are created equal, the patriotic spirit that is our real heritage, then the race hustlers would soon be out of business. And who wants that? I'm Candace Owens, author of Blackout for Prager University. Thank you for watching this video. To keep PragerU videos free, please consider making a tax-deductible donation.
Alright guys, so we got an airful. My feedback with slavery is, I honestly don't believe any of the stories that I've heard, none of the books that has been written. I honestly am not sure of what went on, honestly, because everyone gives a different version, everyone has a different opinion of what it is and who started it, who ended it. I'm clueless, but I would love you guys' thoughts on what you think. But honestly, I don't know. I can't share my opinion because I don't believe anything in terms of slavery and what I was taught at school, what she just said. I can't say I agree with her because I don't. I just don't agree with anything in this world, because the media has a way of twisting stories and keeping the truth from us and keeping us ignorant, I would say, of what's reality and what's not. Like, it's just so much lies and deceit, and there's just so much going on that I don't trust anything. I don't trust TV, I don't trust stories, I don't trust the news, I don't trust anything, because nothing is as it seems. But guys, I would love your thoughts on what she just said, or maybe what you believe really went on, or who started and ended it. I would love that. The feedback will be appreciated. So you guys can leave your comments. I'll check them out individually once I get the time. But I'll be very honest, I don't believe what she said. Not a word, not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Straight up. She speaks well. She's presenting herself amazing. She has awesome confidence. She's a beautiful black queen. Honestly, and she spoke like 5-6 minutes, and I didn't believe a word that she said. Just being honest. Alright guys, so I trust that you all enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Also remember to leave your comments down below. Stay safe, be blessed. Goodbye everyone.